Did you know that from 1973 to 1977, Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and Buick released some unusual muscle cars based on GM's Colonnade platform? First, let's find out exactly what Colonnade is. It's a midsize car framework called the A-Body designed by General Motors. The way they built these cars was pretty smart. First, they assembled all the mechanical parts, like the engine and suspension, onto a strong frame. Then, they put the car body over it. Interestingly, over 7 million of these cars were built back then. Now, they're hard to find, especially if they've been turned into flashy hot rods. So, let's take a look at these classic A-Body vehicles today. Number 10. 1973 Pontiac LeMans GT. The LeMans GT sported the fresh Colonnade body style, which featured a solid B-pillar along with standout design touches like its long hood and rare louvers, making it look strong and unique. It offered several engine choices like a 400 cubic inch V8 with 230 horsepower and a bigger 455 V8 giving up to 250 horsepower and 370 pounds per foot of torque. Even though emissions rules held them back some, these engines still performed well, getting the car from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 8 seconds. Additionally, it came with impressive features for its era, including air conditioning, power windows, and an optional GTO performance package. Despite its appeal, the car's performance was impacted by emissions regulations and it lacked fuel efficiency, a typical problem for muscle cars in that era. Furthermore, its handling wasn't as precise as some rivals because of its heavier weight and softer suspension. While it didn't match the speed or fame of earlier muscle cars, it offered a good mix of daily convenience and sporty style. It stayed popular even as car trends changed over time. Today, the 1973 LeMans GT is rare and collectible, especially those with the GTO package or powerful V8 engines. Number 9. 1974 Chevrolet Malibu Classic. The 1974 Chevrolet Malibu Classic was part of the third-generation lineup made from 1973 to 1977. It had a unique, stylish roof design that gave it a smooth and clean look without visible pillars. Engine options included several choices: a smaller but reliable inline-six engine, a popular 350 V8, and even an impressive giant-size 454 cubic inch V8 for more power. Though all engines were adjusted to meet emissions rules at the time, which slightly reduced their strength compared to older models. Additionally, it came with sporty trims, including the Laguna S-3, which featured unique aerodynamic designs. You could get this car as a hardtop or coupe, and it commonly had power steering, power brakes, and air conditioning. While its initial sales were strong at first, today's collectors have mixed feelings about this generation of the Malibu. These Colonnade-era cars aren't as popular as the ones from the 1960s. Also, they're often overlooked in favor of older muscle models that pack more punch on roads. Number 8. 1977 Oldsmobile 442. Did you know the 1977 Oldsmobile 442 was the last model with Colonnade body style? Although it wasn't as powerful as earlier models, this version still had a bold look with its sloped front, 4 headlights, and unique Colonnade roofline designed for better airflow. Under the hood, you could choose between a 231 cubic inch V6 and several bigger V8 engines. The largest was a 403 cubic inch V8 that delivered up to 185 horsepower. While this wasn't as powerful as older muscle cars, the 442 still offered a balanced ride, especially with its FE2 rally suspension package. It handled well and kept things sporty. While the 1977 442 didn't perform as well as some might hope, it was still loved for its smooth drive and distinctive look. Only 11,649 of these cars were made, so they're pretty rare now. Number 7. 1976 Chevrolet Laguna S-3. Coming in at number 7 on our list is the 1976 Chevrolet Laguna S-3, which marked the end of the Laguna series. This car stood out for its unique design and strong racing background. Introduced during a shift in American muscle cars, it had a Colonnade-style roofline along with an aerodynamic sloped nose made specifically for NASCAR, making it perform well on racetracks. Beneath the exterior, this car came with several engine options: a 305 Ci, a 350 Ci, and a top-performing 400 Ci V8 that offered 175 horsepower. Despite stricter emissions rules reducing its power compared to older muscle cars, it still delivered solid performance thanks to better suspension and race-inspired design elements. In 1976, only about 9,000 Laguna S3 cars were made. Despite not selling well at first because they were heavier and had less horsepower, these cars are now prized by collectors for their NASCAR ties and distinctive look. They featured cool details like rally wheels, swivel bucket seats, and striking graphics. Number 6. 1974 Pontiac Can Am. The Can Am was a special muscle car based on the LeMans, created to boost Pontiac's fading reputation in this market. It featured eye-catching designs like its cameo white body, colorful stripes, and a hood scoop similar to the Trans Am's, giving it a bold appearance. It came with either a 200-horsepower Pontiac 400 V8 engine or an Oldsmobile 403 V8 for California models, delivering decent performance. Production faced setbacks due to issues like a damaged mold for the rear spoiler, resulting in only about 1,133 cars being made. Even though the Can Am was only made for a short time, it became a favorite among car fans because it's rare, performs well, and has a bold look. This model hit at just the right moment when high performance wasn't in focus anymore. Its standout features like radial tuned suspension and Grand Prix-style dashboard make it one of a kind and highly desirable to classic car collectors today. Number 5. 1975 Buick Century GS. The Century GS symbolized a shift in American muscle cars. New emission rules and higher insurance costs led to less powerful engines than before. Featuring the Colonnade roof design, this version had a bulkier look that focused on safety with thicker B-pillars for better rollover protection. Though it didn't have the raw power of earlier models like the GS 455, this version still came with a strong V8 engine, a 350 cubic inch small block that produced about 160 horsepower, and was coupled with a smooth, hydromatic automatic transmission. The GS package made the car sportier by adding better suspension, sporty decals, and a posi traction rear differential for improved handling. Additionally, the GS trim added features like a unique grille, wider fenders, and sometimes rally stripes. This showed Buick's aim to make the car look exciting for those who love performance cars. Although it wasn't as celebrated in its time compared to the stronger cars of the 1960s, its unique mix of style, comfort, and some muscle car essence keeps it a memorable part of automotive history. Number 4. 1973 Pontiac GTO. The 1973 Pontiac GTO marks a change in the muscle car scene, stepping back from its earlier high-speed power. During this time, the GTO became just an option for the Pontiac LeMans instead of being its model, showing how market trends were changing. The car's design showcased the new Colonnade body style with a thicker roof and steel bumpers required by federal safety laws, replacing the iconic Endura bumpers. Underneath the hood, you could choose from two engines, a 400 cubic inch V8 with 230 horsepower, or a larger 455 cubic inch V8 delivering 250 horsepower. However, both were less powerful than earlier versions due to stricter emissions rules. Despite keeping some classic muscle car elements like the shaker hood scoop and Rally 2 wheels, the 1973 GTO had a tough time selling. Only 4,806 units were sold, which was much slower than its earlier success. The energy crisis and higher insurance costs made these powerful cars less attractive to buyers, leading to a drop in sales. Number 3. 1973 Buick Gran Sport. The 1973 Buick Gran Sport stood out as a key model in the last days of muscle cars, blending performance with luxury. It featured a distinct Colonnade roof design that gave it a bold, angular look and improved rollover safety, though this made the car heavier. It came with different engines, but the highlight was its Stage 1 package featuring a 455 cubic inch V8. This engine produced an impressive 270 horsepower and a massive 510 pounds per foot of torque, making it one of the strongest in terms of power during that era. Adding to its collectible status were rare versions like the Sun Coupe, with only about 45 ever made. Despite not being as popular as earlier muscle cars, the 1973 GS was respected for its strong performance during a time of new rules and market shifts. Today, it's seen as one of the last true muscle cars, highly valued by collectors for its rarity and power. Well-kept models can sell for about $31,900. Number 2. 1973 Oldsmobile Hurst Olds. During the muscle car era, only 1,097 of these cars were made. This model stood out due to a special collaboration between Oldsmobile and Hurst Performance, combining great looks with strong performance during the changing automotive scene in the 1970s. Its design includes a Colonnade-style roof and comes in standout colors such as cameo white or ebony black, frequently complemented by gold stripes. This classic car ran on a powerful 455 cubic inch L75 V8 engine and had a TH400 3-speed automatic transmission. It featured upgrades like a Hurst dual-gate shifter and an Edelbrock intake manifold, highlighting its impressive performance capabilities. The vehicle was equipped with rally suspension, power steering, and other enhancements such as a Holley carburetor that solidified its reputation. Number 1. 1973 Chevrolet Chevelle SS. This model wrapped up an era for muscle cars under the Chevelle name. Known as a third-generation design, it introduced a fresh Colonnade look with thick side pillars and fixed rear windows. The double headlights added to its unique style, making this car memorable. What made the SS package stand out from other Chevelle models is its cool features like a blacked-out grille, sporty mirrors on both sides, matching stripes in the car's color, and stylish rally wheels. Under the hood, you could choose between a 350 V8 engine with either 145 or 175 horsepower, or go for the mighty 454 V8 that cranked out an impressive 245 horsepower. Despite the drop in popularity of muscle cars because of higher fuel prices and stricter rules, the 1973 Chevelle SS did quite well. They made 28,647 units that year. Today, this model remains pretty affordable for collectors. Among its versions, Laguna and Malibu are especially promising if you're looking to invest in a classic car. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel for more great content. Remember to like the video and share your thoughts in the comments below.